So I wanted to talk a little bit about aging and how depression can set in, or self-esteem or self-doubt about oneself as we age. This is something I've been thinking about as I'm in my mid 40s, and I work in wellness. I teach yoga, I'm a health coach, I do mindfulness practices with people. And I have realized, as someone who has had really low self-esteem, even when I looked amazing, um, when I was younger or at super fit periods of my life, I still had like I wasn't thin enough, I wasn't fit enough, I didn't feel as amazing, and but I've over the years, when I'm stronger, a little bit more thicker, I like to feel fit. And I can see how when I feel good and take care of myself, I have more self esteem. I love that I go to bed early. I have more self esteem. I love myself when I eat nourishing foods. I love myself when I create boundaries. All of those things make me feel better. And it helps sort of tip or balance if I'm not thin enough. I'm still a woman. I still always want to lose that like 5 or 10 pounds. Um, but it's not like detrimental to me the way it was at one point. Although, if I let my mind go in some direction where I don't feel as attractive, or I don't know, I'm letting myself go. I mean, COVID really took a hit on me, and also the amount of energy and effort I wanted to put into things, into like how I looked, um, all of that, right? Like it, and I think we're all very much in some form thinking about our worth, or how much we're able to participate in society based on how we look. And it was about 4 years ago that I was working with a private client. I haven't worked with her since before COVID, her and her husband. She had just turned 75 at this point. I'd been working with her for a couple of years. And literally, she is at the head of her game. I mean, I personally think that she should have been retired, I thought at the time, but she looked amazing. Her and her husband, that was their second marriage. They had children that were like my age. And so they had grandchildren. And she would tell me how fat she was, how, she was just so self conscious of her body. I knew when she practiced yoga, she felt better, but it was like such a struggle for her to do yoga with me, um, to love herself. And I don't know if she'd ever worked with someone as a personal trainer. I don't know. And it was her husband that really got her into it. Anyways, all to say, she was 75. And I was just like, I won't say her name, but I was like, woman, you look amazing. Like, I can't believe you're 75. You look incredible. I mean, I shared all of what I'm saying. Like, and I left that day realizing that, because I thought growing up that as I got older, I would accept myself more. And I realized through my years of teaching yoga and being a woman, and having friends of all ages, and young ones not caring, and older ones not caring, and younger ones really caring, and older ones really caring about how they looked, I realized it just really didn't matter. It was all about the mindset. And after I had worked with this client this particular day, I like a total shift in my mentality happened. So this is about 4 years ago. And realizing that only if I made a choice, because I was sort of heading down that path. I spent my early 20s, late teens, maybe even my early 30s, like going, oh, I'm so fat, like, and wanting people to say, no, you don't, you look great. And as I got more and more into wellness and eating well, I also realized that me speaking this way, even with my friends, was very damaging to them to say, "Oh, you look great," when they were really thin. "Oh, you look fantastic," knowing that like they had to, they had just gotten sick or something. Like I've gone through a lot of it. I've had eating disorders, and it's taken a lot. And I realized that even that small amount of effort was not enough to combat me really starting to hate myself as I turned, late 30s, getting into my 40s, like coloring my hair, like choosing if I was going to, deciding if I was going to do that, deciding if I was going to whiten my teeth, which I still might, because that's like, I love my coffee, but I'm doing it based on like personal choice, I can't afford plastic surgery, but I have been thinking like, what would I do it? Or like, I want to see myself grow. Like I'm getting teary. Like I want to see how I change. And I want to be able to take care of myself in such a way that I can still love myself without, you know, hating myself for whatever foods I've eaten or the exercise that I didn't get, or just name whatever you want to name. Like there's just so much out there, and it's so easy to really use social media and any kind of media to give you the downloads you need to really hate yourself more and more and more. And it's really easy. I have to turn my phone off. I'm less and less and less and less on social media. Um, I think that even I personally think that everybody's life is amazing when I look on there, and that my life is so lonely and I have nobody and whatever it is. Like it's all not true. It's just like what we can see in our mind. And so like if you can really start to also like internalize how that's damaging, that kind of thinking, and then really start to take care of yourself in a way, and then also just love yourself with some extra weight, I mean, I'm still a woman. I want to take care of myself, but I like pizza. Sometimes I eat late snacks. Like I'm a human. We're on this planet. There are stresses in this world. And, can I be mindful with emotional eating? Because it's part of us. Can I be cognizant of how doing certain things and eating certain foods at certain times of day is not good, Um, and, really also just loving that your body has these cravings, and can you nourish your own body and try to soothe those cravings. So if you're having a huge salty craving, then maybe you have a lack of iodine in your diet. So you need to take like iodine drops and put that in your water. You can get that at like a an organic market store. If you're feeling like you're inflamed and you do want to curb like sugary habits, right? So they go hand in hand. Maybe you take turmeric. Like these are just examples. Like, learning what your body needs. Sleep. The minute people take a lot of sleep in and they have it consistently and they have boundaries on their sleep, I see people just totally transform. They feel more like they're nourishing their physical body, and you can see it in their skin like almost immediately after 1 week of good sleep. It really changes people. It changes people on the inside, and you really learn to love yourself. And I just want to bring it back to that conversation I had with my client. I just realized she had a lot of self-hate. And I personally, I was just her yoga teacher, and I only saw her once a week and sometimes once every other week. So it wasn't as consistently as other clients. But even so, like, I am there to guide people. And I also realized that I personally stopped indulging my clients the way that they wanted to be indulged. Like I will definitely give people kudos for taking care of themselves and maybe eating less of certain foods and trying a new diet and drinking less. Um, but I do know and do believe that how we communicate with each other really also symbolizes like what is the most valuable to us. And, you know, trying to be skinny is nothing that doesn't hold any more value in my life. Being fit, taking care of yourself, creating boundaries is just exponential, and it really it affects everybody. So take care of yourself. Remember that you matter. How you show up today, tomorrow. You do not need to be at this, whatever it is that's in your mind, how you need to look for this moment. And then if your body doesn't show up that way, it it is perfect. It is perfect for right now. Just take care of yourself. Listen to what you need. And if you're in a crowd that really values that, then you, you're ready to move on to the next crowd. Join me, join like-minded people like myself. Because once you really sort of push those people away or step back or just pivot in the way that you need to, the people will show up that will really value those in you, and it will just feel so much better. And you know what? They say something about, there is one thing when you do get older, well, now I can't say it that way, but you generally just don't care other people's opinions generally. All right, guys, thank you so much.